What's up everyone, this is BigPowner and today I'm going to be teaching you how I'm going to be making my melee chest. The first part of this craft is already done, which is basically just the awakening part, which is pretty simple. You take your base, you're going to get one base that needs to be um, uh, astral plate for this build, but you could use whatever build you want. But you're going to want one to have the base crit tier 1 and the other to have the power charge tier 1. And then those need to be isolated. They can only have hunter mods on them. If you don't know what hunter mods are, then you're going to just want to go over to PoEDB, and you can just go ahead and check to make sure that whatever base it is that you're using is going to only have one of those mods, the desired mod, because when you use an Awakener's Orb, it takes influence mod and adds it to the other one. If you're uncomfortable with using the Awakener Orb, go watch one of my other Awakener Orb crafting videos so you can actually see that part of the process. I'm not doing that in this one because I'm doing this on the armor that I'm wearing. So what I've just done is I've taken and reforged prefixes, keep suffixes, which took me a while to farm. The reason why I wasn't able to string this video together. Um, the reason why I used a reforge with keep suffixes is because I wanted to keep those two mods from my influences, but when I used my Awakener's Orb, I had 6 stats on the item. I had no open prefix, which means there's no safe way for me to finish my craft. So if you wind up in that same situation, that's what you have to do. You have to get a reforge keep suffixes so that then you can hopefully roll. And you can see on this one I only got one mod, which is great because all I needed was one open prefix so that I can finish the craft. Once I've gotten it to this point where you have an open prefix, the last thing that we definitely want on this is we want an extra curse, because for this build I need an extra curse, but I can't get it on my amulet because I'm using Arns and I need the minimum endurance charge anointment on my necklace. It also gives me extra endurance charge generation, but I'll explain the reason why I'm doing that in my next build guide for this build, in case you're following the build and kind of wondering what it is that I'm doing. But it's pretty simple once you have an open prefix. It's a guaranteed going to be able to get additional curse, and the reason why is because we're using 2 influences here. We'll go ahead and okay, so we're using 2 influences here. We've got, this is just set to strength, body armor. Um, so I slammed together the Crusader, the power charge chance critical, with the Hunter tier 1% critical. Make sure when you do your Awakener's Orb that this is a tier 1. The next thing that I want is I want you can apply an additional curse on my prefixes. This is really easy to get because it has the caster tag, which on these 2 influences, we have no other caster tag. As you can see, there's nothing else on here that's caster tagged. And on our prefixes, we don't have any other caster tags. So if you were doing this on like, no, I don't think there's any caster tag on that. Yeah, so this might work on every base. Yeah, I think it does. But I would make sure on that. I think the only one that was even a thought in my mind was intelligence based. So if it's not on there, then it should be good on all of them. Anyways, the only thing that's tagged with caster is the supply additional curse. So I can guaranteed put this on, but I have to protect the bottom. So the way we do that is, gotta remove my jewels. We're just going to go suffixes. Suffixes cannot be changed. Craft that on there. So now my suffixes are going to be protected, which is my base crit and my power charge chance. Then I'm going to go to the horticrafting. We're going to use the caster. It doesn't matter what kind as long as it's high enough. So I'm going to do reforge with the caster. So that's going to give me my additional curse. So now I have the additional curse, the base crit, and the power charge, which is super dope. Since I have one open spot, the way I'm going to wear this is I'm going to go ahead and put on the percent life and percent max mana dual mod. This is going to be the strongest choice for that last slot. Um, come on. 8%. Oh man, I ran out of chaos. All right. Well, anyways, that's pretty much where I'm going to keep the chest now. I could take an Exalt Slam it, which before I would do that, I would take and remove the crafted mod because percent life is something that I could hit. If I really wanted to make this better, I could keep on reforging. Like at this point, because I have an open prefix, I could do this process again because I've got like one open prefix on top of the craft. I could either Exalt Slam it and I just get what I get. Something's better than nothing. Or if you wanted a little bit more control over what's winding up there, you could take and keep on doing this process of putting on suffixes cannot be changed, do the curse, and hope something else good comes up. At this point in the league, I'm not at a place where all of the rest of my gear is like so good that I want to just keep on slamming it for 2EX because I've got other stuff that I need to upgrade. At this point, with that 8% life, the additional curse, the power charge on critical, and the base crit, I have a really strong item in comparison to the rest of my items, so it's going to be better off for me to go ahead at this point, keep it, well, perfect roll the percent life, because that percent life's decent, and it really shouldn't take me that many rolls. Statistically, I should have already hit it in that amount of time. But that's where I'm going to keep it for now until I do like a really end game piece of gear, which at that point I'm going to be doing the same kind of process, but I'm going to be doing elevated versions of base crit, elevated version of the power charge, and then I'm going to be doing the same process to add back on my curse. And at that point, because I've invested so much more into it as a whole, I'm probably going to be more picky about what's going to be on my top. So I probably, at that point, am going to be willing to use multiple tries on putting that additional curse and trying to combine it with something else. The other thing that I could do, like if I'm at this point where I only have one, is I could go ahead and Exalt Slam it once. If something good comes up on there, then I could go ahead and craft on my last craft and be done with it. Or another choice would be is I can go to beast crafting and I can add an influence mod through the beast. That's probably going to give me a better, cheaper Exalt Slam basically right here. So that's probably what I would do, which is probably what I'll do with it as it is, but I'll probably just keep it how it is, however it comes out. So yeah, those are some choices there. Obviously, like I said, if this was a double elevated bottom, I'd probably go further. You could even take it even further and try to get 2 influence mods on the top at that point, and then still craft on suffixes cannot be changed, and then Maven it again and go for triple elevated. Obviously, that's getting into like the much more investment because about you got a 50-50 chance when you Maven to hit what it is that you want. So that's like 60x a try plus crafting it on there, which getting those two together, that could take any number of tries. So that's getting super expensive. I probably won't even do that even when I get to that min-maxing gear, just because the curse by itself and the elevated bonus that it gives isn't really that great. So that I'll probably just on my finalized item double elevate the bottom and then just add the curse, but be more picky about what else goes on there with it. Anyways, I hope that this video is helpful, and I will see you guys on the next video. Peace.